Okay, we're going to start. We are discussing from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter number 3, text number 12. Please chant after me. Isthan bhogan hi vo deva. Okay, switch off the exhaust. It's a food smell coming from outside. Close the door. Dasyante yagya bhavitaha. तैर्दत्तान् अप्रदायेभ्यो यो भुङ्क्ते स्तेन एव सः इष्टान् भोगान् हि वो देवा दास्यन्ते यज्ञभावितः तैर्दत्तान् प्रदायेभ्यो यो भुङ्क्ते स्तेन एव सः इष्टान् भोगान् हि वो देवा दास्यन्ते यज्ञभाविताः तैर्दत्तान् अप्रदायेभ्यो यो भुङ्क्ते स्तेन एव सः. Please chant.
इष्टान् भोगान् हि वो देवा
इष्टान् भोगान् हि वो देवा भावितः
दत्तान् अपराधेभ्यो
दत्तान् अप्रदायेभ्यो
भुङ्क्ते स्तेन एव सः
यो भुङ्क्ते स्तेन एव सः. Somebody else want to chant?
इष्टान् भोगान् हि वो देवा
इष्टान् भोगान् हि वो देवा
दास्यन्ते यज्ञभाविताः
दास्यन्ते यज्ञभाविताः
अपराधेभ्यो
तैर्दत्तान् प्रदायेभ्यो यो भुङ्क्ते स्तेन एव सः. So let us chant the word meanings. Ishtan, desired. Bhogan, necessities of life. He, certainly. Vaha, unto you. Devaha, the demigods. Dasyante, will award. Yajna bhavitaha, being satisfied by the performance of sacrifices. Tai, by them. Dattan, things given. Apradaya, without offering. Ebhya, to these demigods. Yah, he who. Bhunkte, enjoys. Stenaha, thief. Eva, certainly. Saha, he. Translation. In charge of the various necessities of life, the demigods, being satisfied by the performance of yajna or sacrifice, will supply all necessities to you. But he who enjoys such gifts without offering them to the demigods in return is certainly a thief. Look back at the shloka. Ishtan, in the previous shloka it was described that the demigods, what was the previous shloka? Let me just see. देवान् भावयतानेना ते देवा भावयन्तु वह परस्परम भावयन्तः श्रेयः परम अवाप्स्यतः. देवान् भावयता अनेना, by this anena, by this performance of sacrifice, the demigods will become satisfied. Te deva bhavayantu, vah means to you, so they will please you by giving you your material necessities of life. Parasparam bhavayanta, in this way pleasing each other, shreyah param avapsatah, you will achieve highest goal, because by performance of yajnas the demigods are pleased and we ourselves advance towards liberation. समझ रहे हैं तो बात. By performance of a yajna we get our material needs which we need for a sustenance, and we also advanced, become purified in our consciousness, by which we become liberated. Where is Amarnath? Is he sick? Fine. So now in this was explained in 3.11. So in 3.12 explains what if a person does not do that. See, every time you will see, whenever there is an injunction which is positive, there is also an injunction which is negative. Means if you do this, this will get this benefit, and if you don't do this, then this is the benefit. Not the benefit, but this will be the result of not doing it. All throughout we have been discussing it, we have been hearing this. You control the senses, this will happen, and if you don't control the senses, this will happen. पॉजिटिव ये करना है और ये नहीं करना है, ये दोनों बात नहीं करोगे तो ये होगा और नहीं करोगे तो ये होगा, ये तरीका ही है बताने का. It's like we do bhakti, fine, but don't commit offenses. So positive injunction means niyam, this you must do, and yam means these things you should avoid. Just like we chant 16 rounds and follow the 4 regular principles, which means don't do these 4 things. This in this way, the Lord is explaining here, a person who, in the previous shloka, the Lord has explained, a person who performs sacrifices, he pleases the demigods and the demigods please him. But a person who does not do, what happens to him will be explained here. You can have the fan running. I'm feeling a little hot also. You can put it on 2. Ishtan. Isht means what is desirable. Bhogan. What is your material needs? Food, water, nice air. I was just reflecting yesterday when we were coming back from Bharat program, how even in Mathura, the whole air is so much polluted. I mean, if you have noticed. And when you come to Goshala, you see, you feel like you're in heaven or something. No? You can actually breathe. So people are not even getting some proper air to breathe now. So Ishtan Bhogan he. Now he means certainly. Certainly it is like that our material necessities are provided by the demigods. Wo is in Sandhi. Wo means vah. Vah means to all of you people. Na means to all of us. And vah means to all of you. So Deva, they will give. Dasyante yagya bhavata. Dasyante means they will give you. Why they will give? Yagya bhavata. Because they are pleased by the performance of yagya. Is the first line clear? Look at the shloka. Ishtan bhogan hi wo deva. Whatever your material necessities are there, definitely the demigods will satisfy. Yadasyante, because they are satisfied by yagya. Okay. Tair dattan. Tair dattan means, tai means by them. Things which have been provided by them. Water, air, all those things. Food. Apradayebhyo, a person who does not give them back in return things which have been given by the demigods. Yo bhungte, and so if such a person is enjoying those objects, then stena evasa, that person is certainly a thief. Are you able to follow the Sanskrit? Okay. Gita Bhushan commentary. Clarifying this same point, the Lord then shows the fault in executing actions. That means if a person does not offer yagya, what will happen to him? These previously created devatas who are my limbs will give you more and more desired objects dependent on performance of sacrifice, which are useful for those desiring liberation. They will give rain, which will produce food. He who enjoys for himself alone, not giving to the devatas through Panch Mahayagya, a portion of the objects which the devas originally bestowed for worship of the Lord, is a thief. Having stolen the devatas' properties, he nourishes himself as that. As a thief is punished by the king, he deserves to be punished by Yamaraj. He is unsuitable for pursuing the real goal of human life. What is the meaning of this commentary? You remember that Sahayagya Praja Srishtva Puro Vacha Prajapati Anina Prasavishadvam Eshavo Dhishta Kamadit. See, this is the benefit of Parayan. I never try to learn this shloka. It just comes from my mouth because we do Parayan. It happens when it happens actually, it's a fact. So what I'm trying to say that when there was creation, what did the Lord do? He created demigods and the human beings. I mean, primarily, animals cannot perform yagyas. So then what did he say? Human beings will do yagya and that benefit will be going to demigods. Now something is very, very interestingly provided. Just like suppose I get 4 chapatis or wheat, that is we're getting by the mercy of demigods, definitely, who are under the control of Lord Krishna or Vishnu. So now, if I get 4 chapatis, do I have to offer all the 4 chapatis? You understand? Whatever portion of it is offered and that is received by the demigods in very large quantity. Are you able to understand this point? When a person offers water to his pitras, it's not that he has to empty the whole home. A portion, just he offers a little bit and the result is received by the demigods in a very large quantity and the results are received by the human beings also in very large quantity. Are you able to appreciate this point? So now, so if a person cannot do or does not do even that much, that much krippan he is that he cannot do even that much offering to demigods, then he's definitely kripana. He's a miser and he will be punished by Yamaraj. Just like a person who does not pay his taxes in this world also, he also gets punished by government. Do we have to give all our money to government? What is the answer? I'm just giving an analogy. We don't have to give 100% of our money to the government. A portion of that money has given to the government, and the government gives us all the supplies. Is it not? This current and road and all those things. It's very easy to understand. Similarly, but the government cannot give us sunlight. Is it not? It cannot give us air or even water for that matter. Pump कर सकते हैं water, लेकिन water बना तो नहीं सकते ना. So one person should understand that he is dependent on this universal government of the demigods, which is running under the purview. Purview means under the administration of Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna. So now we must understand, we must always say that, when we always say Krishna, that's a fact, but Krishna is not directly involved with the material affairs. He is delegated to do his Vishnu expansion. So that's why we say Vishnu. So a person who does not do that, he's a thief. You understand why he's called thief? How he has to offer? Acharya explains Panch Mahayagya. I am forgetting, but one name is Agnihotra Yagya, which has to be done every day. Other 4 names I am not remembering, but 5 Mahayagyas have to be there, which must be done by a Grihastha. I am just forgetting it because we don't do it on a daily basis. Not even daily basis. Never we do it. Chanting Hare Krishna covers all the performance of Yagya. Please hear very carefully. It is not that just because we are not able to do 5 Mahayagyas that Hare Krishna is prescribed. ये बहुत ध्यानपूर्वक सुनिए. It's not that because we can't do 4 Panch Mahayagyas that we are chanting Hare Krishna. Rather, those who can't chant Hare Krishna, for them it is a Panch Mahayagya. कुछ घुस रहा है दिमाग में? Those who can't have faith in the holy name, for them, okay, do this demigod worship, which is also good, and get purified. But you can see in Kali Yuga, people can't do that even also. Just to wake up in the morning is difficult. What to talk of doing a yagya and getting a brahmana and all those things. Can you imagine the degraded stage of Kali Yuga? Earlier, every Garhastha will do, if he's not the Shudra. Yes, I know, I'm not comparing the holy name with the yagya. What I'm trying to say is that a person who does not have faith in the holy name, for them, this kind of thing is prescribed. Prabhupada will tell in his purport. But a person who's chanting Hare Krishna, he does not have to do any other yagya. Rather, if he thinks that doing other yagya will increase his bhakti, that will be an eclipsing effect on his bhakti. Bhakti is only increased by bhakti. So we are discussing Bhagavad Gita. We are doing all this thing. We are chanting Hare Krishna. We are reading Bhagavatam. This is the best yagya for our advancement Krishna consciousness. Okay. What is that? Brahma yagya, Dev yagya, Pitra yagya, Bhut yagya, Manushya yagya. So but there are different meanings to it. I don't understand. But our simple yagya is Sankirtan yagya, and we help others also to chant Hare Krishna. We chant Hare Krishna and we spread Hare Krishna and we help others. Also distribution of prasadam, distribution of books. Basically distribution of practice of bhakti, and distribution of bhakti is the highest yagya by which the Lord is supremely satisfied. And we have seen that when Suta Goswami arrived in the assembly of the sages, they stopped all the yagyas. They were qualified brahmanas. They stopped everything, and they have expressed that by this sacrifice only our faces have become black. That means, only means we did not get any results. Even they said that. So a person should be intelligent. So he just said, you please make us hear Srimad Bhagavatam, and we are satisfied with that. Okay. समझ में आ रहा है ना ये? Purport. The demigods are authorized supplying agents on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. Very simple to understand. Very simple to understand. Just like what is that? What do we call? Government stores are there, no? Where we used to ration stores. So you bring your card and you get some ration. So they are authorized stores of the government. Similarly, the demigods have been given delegated responsibility by Lord Vishnu that you do this, you do this. They are empowered living entities who are qualified, but they have a desire to control material nature. They are devotees, but they are not like, not all of them are pure. Yamaraj is a Mahajan, is a pure devotee, but not all of them are pure. They have a desire to control material nature. So Lord gives such living entities who are his devotees, but have some desire to control nature as demigod position. Therefore, they must be satisfied by the performance of prescribed yajnas. In the Vedas, there are different kinds of yajnas prescribed for different kinds of demigods, but all are ultimately offered to the Supreme Personality of God. It is very easy. If I say, can you give me this kartal? Okay, just let us do some experiment. Was one piece, just for experiment. Who is he? Whom he gave it to? To whom Anish Prabhu gave kartal to? To me or to my hand? So now devotees are confused. To me or to my hand? Can you separate? Now he says to my fingers. He's क्या बाल की खाल निकाल रहे? कुछ समझ में आ रहा है? If some prasadam is given, is it given to you or to your mouth? But the receiver is mouth, but given to you. Similarly, this is the proper understanding for doing a Vedic sacrifice, that if I am doing it for a demigod, he is part and parcel of Supreme Lord Vishnu. In this understanding, Bharat Maharaj, when he was a king, he was a pure devotee. But then somebody may ask, if he's a pure devotee, then why he was doing this demigod yajnas? He was doing with understanding that these demigods are non-different from Lord Vishnu, in the sense that they are the angas of Lord Vishnu. So ultimately, by offering these things to the demigods, I'm trying to please Vishnu. And he did it for those people. Please extremely be very careful. He did it just to set an example for those who need to worship demigods to get purified. समझ रहे ना? जिनको देवताओं की पूजा करने की आवश्यकता थी, उनके लिए आदर्श प्रस्तुत करने के लिए वो कर रहे थे. ऐसा नहीं कि उनको खुद को करने की जरूरत थी. वो तो भगवान के बेटे हैं और वो शुद्ध भक्त है. Okay. All the questions will be done after the class. For one who cannot understand what the personality of Godhead is, sacrifice to the demigods is recommended. समझ में आया? A person who cannot understand who Supreme Personality of Godhead is, for him, the Vedic rituals and Vedic rules and regulations are there by which he can make advancement. And then when he makes gradual advancement, then somehow that he gets mercy of the Lord, and in the sense of by getting association of devotees, then he will accept Krishna consciousness. This we see in our preaching also, that when people who are pious, who have a tendency to follow rules and regulations in general, and then somehow that they meet the devotees, they accept Krishna consciousness very easily. This is also a fact. According to the different material qualities of the persons concerned, different types of yajnas are recommended in the Vedas. Worship of different demigods is also on the same basis, namely according to different qualities. For example, the meat eaters are recommended to worship the goddess Kali, the ghastly form of material nature, and before the goddess, the sacrifice of animals is recommended. But for those who are in the mode of goodness, the transcendental worship of Vishnu is recommended. But ultimately, all yajnas are meant for gradual promotion to the transcendental position. This must be understood. This is not normally understood. If Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead or Vishnu is Bhagavan, then why there are so many different yajnas and so many different worships prescribed in the Vedas themselves? Why they are saying Indra must be worshipped and that the demigod is worshipped, must be worshipped? So you must understand, the Vedas are very magnanimous. Most of the conditioned souls don't want to follow any rules. That is the nature of conditioned souls. It only wants, they only want to sense gratification. So Veda says, okay, you want sense gratification, you follow, you worship this demigod, this demigod, this demigod, and you'll get a very high grade of sense gratification. This you understand? So it is not that this will bring them highest benefit, but seeing their consciousness, the Vedas are prescribed. ये बात समझ रहे हैं? This is not their highest benefit, but seeing their consciousness, it is prescribed, you worship this demigod, so that they at least accept the authority of Vedas and make gradual advancement. But so because they will not immediately accept bhakti. In our preaching also we understand, we see not everybody is accepting bhakti, but they are maybe interested in doing some worshipping some demigod. So in that way they make some progress. So now that's what Prabhupada is mentioning, that they can't understand who is Lord Vishnu, but they can make gradual advancement as they do some sacrifice and do some puja like that. That's what is mentioned here. But and also some people are so much in mode of ignorance that they have to be, they just can't do that. They just can't wake up and early in the morning and chant Hare Krishna. It's just not possible for them. It's just too sattvic, so to speak. It just होएगा ही नहीं, आप पर बोलिए उनको कुछ, they will not feel that कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे. So then they have to do some all this शोशेबाजी, समझते हैं, it's all this big adambar, a big farce has to be there. Not farce, but I would use the word is ritualistic activities has to be there. Then they will say, हाँ अभी कुछ हुआ. Jadikrita Batamayalam. This is the explanation of Yamaraji. Yamadutas were said, if simply by chanting Harinam all the sins are destroyed, then why so much prashchit is ascribed by so many rishis and munis? He said, because their mind has become jad, very, how to say, thick by all these ritualistic sacrifices. Then they can't understand the importance of chanting the holy name of Krishna. That is only understood by the mercy of devotees. When we hear in the association of devotees, then we understand we don't have to do any yajna except Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay. So for ordinary men, at least 5 yajnas known as Panch Mahayajna are necessary. One should know, however, that all the necessities of life that the human society requires are supplied by the demigod agents of the Lord. No one can manufacture anything. Take, for example, all the eatables of human society. These eatables include grains, fruits, vegetables, milk, sugar, etc. for the persons in the mode of goodness, and also eatables for the non-vegetarians like meats, none of which can be manufactured by men. Then again, take, for example, heat, light, water, air, etc., which are also necessities of life. None of them can be manufactured by the human society. Without the Supreme Lord, there can be no profuse sunlight, moonlight, rainfall, breeze, etc., without which no one can live. Obviously, our life is dependent on supplies from the Lord. Even for our manufacturing enterprises, we require so many raw materials like metal, sulfur, mercury, manganese, and so many essentials, all of which are supplied by the agents of the Lord. Let me just read it. It's very simple to understand. With the purpose that we should make proper use of them to keep ourselves fit and healthy for the purpose of self-realization, leading to the ultimate goal of life, namely liberation from the material struggle for existence. This aim of life is attained by performance of yajnas. I will read the whole thing and then comment on some of the points. If we forget the purpose of human life and simply take supplies from the agents of the Lord for sense gratification and become more and more entangled in material existence, which is not the purpose of creation, certainly we become thieves, and therefore we are punished by the laws of material nature. A society of thieves can never be happy because they have no aim in life. The gross materialist thieves have no ultimate goal of life. They are simply directed to sense gratification, nor do they have knowledge of how to perform yajnas. Lord Chaitanya, however, inaugurated the easiest performance of yajna, namely the Sankirtan yajna, which can be performed by anyone in the world who accepts the principles of Krishna consciousness. So we have discussed to this point. I'll explain all these things. Prabhupada is saying for ordinary people, the 5 Mahayajnas is there. Means a person who cannot have faith immediately on chanting Hare Krishna, then it is better that he performs his prescribed duties. But what is the difficulty? Where will you get a Brahmana to do all these yajnas? Where will you get ghee to do yajna? You can't even make ghee in your home. Where will you get a cow? First of all, where will you get a cow to get some proper milk also? Who knows what we are getting in the form of milk? We are obviously in Goshala, so we have no problem. But outside people, we don't know what we are paying for. Is it not? Everything is adulterated. No need to give any comments on that. Everything is adulterated. So although theoretically we can say they should do Panch Mahayajnas, but it is more unreasonable to ask them because nobody can do it. Because if only the yajna is done properly, then it will bring results. So all these yajnas, there's a dosha of time, then there is a dosha of or fault of ingredients and the fault of knowledge also. There is no brahmana to do those things. So real, that's what Prabhupada says, for even for ordinary people, Sankirtan Yajna is most easy. You get, and also you get immediate results. Your purification, you can see your heart is changing. You don't want to do bad things which you are attached to. So all those things you get easily by chanting Hare Krishna. So the purpose is, yes, Bhagavad Gita is speaking about Panch Mahayagyas, but then we don't have to do, we have to do Mahayagya of Hare Krishna mantra. By that the Supreme Lord is satisfied, and if he is satisfied, all other demigods are satisfied. Interesting pastime, Srila Prabhupada was somewhere in America, and he was his disciples were doing kirtan, and Prabhupada was smiling and laughing. And the devotees asked, "Why, Prabhupada? Why were you laughing?" He said, "I saw Naradji and Shivji coming to your Sankirtan, and they were laughing how the militias are also chanting Hare Krishna." We just don't know what Srila Prabhupada is and who Prabhupada is. It's amazing, is it? Now you can just directly see Naradji, you can directly see Shivji. It's amazing. This brings me, he's always asked me question, why me? Why, how I could get the connection with Srila Prabhupada? I'm his grandchild. It's amazing. And every time you read Srila Prabhupada books, you see Prabhupada's emphasis is on chanting Hare Krishna. He is always trying to preach to you, you don't underestimate this chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. People tend to do that. Even in ISKCON, people tend to undo so many things, but they will neglect japa. They will keep the japa for a whole day. Rudra Prabhu was telling in his base, his cookbook, saying, "Japa mein kya dikkat hai? Pure din karte raho. You can chant the whole day. Japa you can chant the whole day. Why you have to do so strong japa in the morning?" Incidentally, he met me here also in Krishna Hall. And I made a comment on him also. He could not understand. I told him, you should chant japa in the morning. Anyhow, this is very profound. This chanting of japa and Hare Krishna mantra is very profound. Anyways. So, then the other part of the purport Srila Prabhupada is explaining that even if whatever we are needing here, food, water, everything is supplied by demigods, and even if a person is eating meat, the animals don't eat meat, animals have to survive by eating grains. So ultimately you are dependent on the Supreme Lord and his representatives also. So you cannot run away from there. Maharaj makes a very nice joke. Maharaj was saying that, as well as Radha Govind Maharaj, that people give you bill immediately. Is it not? Every month you get a bill. Anything you use, you get a bill immediately. In the restaurant, as soon as you finish eating, okay, bill. Everywhere you have bill. But suppose the Supreme Lord sends the bill. Okay, you have been using sunlight since so long. So what will you do? Then you say, "Oh my Lord, please forgive us. We are your servants. We cannot pray." Is it not? Sarkar, maaf kar dijiye. हम नहीं दे पाएंगे. Krishna is giving so much. So Maharaj कह रहे थे, भगवान इतने उदार हैं. अरे ये भिखमंगे भोगे कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Let these beggars enjoy. I don't care. That's a fact. But Krishna expects us to accept his superiority. Krishna expects us to accept his superiority. समझ रहे हैं? When you offer a food to Krishna, it's not that we are creating food. When I'm speaking, it's not that I have created my tongue, or for that matter my intelligence or my body. We have discussed this before also. But when we use it and when we offer to Krishna, it's amazing that Krishna becomes obliged to the devotee. So nice, is it not? Everything what we are doing is all empowered by not Intel Pentium, but Paramatma, which is who's inside. What is it? Intel Pentium inside. So, what is that Pentium inside? Paramatma, is it not? Everything is empowered by Paramatma only. Whatever you are doing, any fool or intelligent, whatever we are able to do is by Krishna's mercy only. I have given this example so many times. I am thinking something and I am speaking something. I don't know how it is happening. I am speaking something and you are understanding something. That also you don't know. And when you understand, you say, "Yeah, see how intelligent I am. I have understood Bhagavad Gita." How have you understood? We are all simply dependent on the Supreme Lord. But it's amazing when we do that, the Lord is extremely pleased. That's what He expects us. That's what He expects from us. Accept His superiority. Supreme Lord, भगवान मैं आपकी शरण में हूँ, मैं आप इससे प्रसन्न हो जाए बस. So अगर कोई इतना भी नहीं करता, if a person does not even do that, definitely he is a cheater. So many times people will ask you this question, प्रभु जी जिनको पता नहीं उनको, if people don't know, are they still cheaters? Yes. This problem is arising because the education system is wrong. The kid is knowing 1 + 1 = 2. But why is he not knowing that the food has to be offered to Krishna? I have seen personally, my sister is staying with my mother. So her daughter is maybe 10 years of age. She asked whether this food has been offered to Krishna. If her mother gives her something, then she says, is it offered to Krishna? And many times she also is offering. So at least, if not in the home, but not in the school, but at least in the home, there should be a culture of offering food to Krishna, some arti to Krishna, so that the kids who are born, they see, and then even just out of imitation, they know this is the lifestyle, this is how we're supposed to be. We live a life of accepting the superiority of Lord Shri Krishna. Does it make sense? Okay. So because for all those things we are dependent. It's very nicely mentioned by this name Satyavrat, King Satyavrat to Matsya Avatar, that my Lord, there is no comparison how much mercy you have been doing or extending to the conditioned souls. The mercy of everyone combined is not even drop of what the Lord has done to us. Since time, beginningless time, we are here, and the Lord has never forsaken us. He has been with us. In this world, the Father cannot be with all His children, even if He wants to, is it not? But the Lord is so much loving, since beginningless time we have been forgetful of Him, still He has been with us, not giving up on us. Maybe in this life you will remember, maybe in this life you will remember. So can you imagine how much Krishna must be happy with all of us when we are trying to do some bhakti for Him? We cannot actually understand. Prabhupada says this, you may understand any quality of Krishna, but you can't understand His causeless compassion for the conditioned souls. We just can't imagine how when we wake up for Mangalarti and go before Krishna, how much Krishna is happy. Have you ever seen Krishna frowning? Is it not? Many times we look at people, why this fellow has come, is it not? Ye kyun aa gaya tha? But Krishna is never. Krishna is Suhrdam Sarvabhutanam. We should hear this and always remember this when we go before Krishna. He's actually extremely happy that I have come before Him. I am saying I means all of you should think like this. You should never think मैं भी एक भीड़ का हिस्सा हूँ. I'm only a part of the crowd. Krishna is not seeing. It's not like that. Krishna is very personal God. So we have discussed these things. So for our material necessities, we depend on the demigods, and they are. Now somebody says, oh no, but what about our industries? So Prabhupada is very clearly putting it. From where are you getting all the metal? From where are you getting the coal? People never think all these power plants are running on coal. So they extract the coal, but they never ask who put this much amount of coal in down underneath the earth. They will give so many explanations, but they would not give the credit to the Supreme Lord. So this is their cheating mentality, and that's why they cannot appreciate Krishna. Okay, this is understood. Now, in the last part, the next part of the purport, Prabhupada is a beautiful point that why we need to be healthy. Okay, fine, you want to be healthy, fine, but you must be healthy. Definitely, you must be healthy to execute the purpose of life. And this statement should be heard very, very clearly. All of you are able to hear me on Zoom, and I was obviously able to hear me. Hear very carefully. If my parents or my relatives don't understand and they want to live like animals, I am not going to surrender to them. Obviously, you can't speak that heavily to them, especially if you are economically dependent on them. But I am not going to surrender to your animalistic agenda of eating, mating, sleeping, and defending. I had a very good reflection today that just like we are in a train or in a railway station, we don't think it's our home, is it not? We don't plan to become very big or something there. That's why devotee, an intelligent devotee should see in this life how he can get his maintenance by exerting as less as possible. He is the most intelligent person. Be lazy and be intelligent. So you have time to execute Krishna consciousness. So that even if a person does not become liberated in this life, he makes maximum advancement in this life. Does it make sense to you? कुछ रहा है दिमाग में घुस रहा है. Even if a person cannot go back to Godhead in one life, he should be intelligent to understand this place does not belong to me. I don't belong to material world, and this is not a good place. I am supposed to catch the flight back home, back to Godhead. So execute as I can. So I should have as much time to practice Krishna consciousness as possible. समझ रहे हैं ना मेरे? And we actually need very, very less. Whether it is a Mataji or Prabhuji, neither you are Mataji, neither you are Prabhuji. You are servant of Krishna. So you cannot say, I am a Mataji, I should have 20 sets of clothes, all matching. I'm not commenting on one particular Mataji or another, but that's a natural propensity of a materialistic Mataji, is it not? They like to dress very nicely and all those things. But are you a Mataji? You can think like that. Similarly, Prabhujis may have different propensities to waste their money. Are you a Prabhuji? We have, this is a designation which is imposed upon us. समझ रहे हैं मेरी बात? It's a dress on us. And it gives pain also, is it not? This body gives you pain so much. So trying to cover the body in all very attractive ways is not the mood of a transcendentalist. That is what we wanted to say. You cover the bodies because it has to be covered. And in that, I'm just giving one example. In other ways also, we need to minimize our needs so that we can execute Krishna consciousness. I know that everybody can't be focused in that way. But this is how we should be focused. That's what Prabhupada says, simple living and high thinking. But as soon as we don't live simply, we can't think high also. Guru Maharaj told very nicely, the more we have, the more we think we need to have to exist or even survive. समझ रहे ना मेरी बात? So like this. So very, very, very deep important point. So we need to be healthy so that we can execute bhakti and go back to Godhead. Very clear. And if we have a plan to make a career in this world, go ahead with it, but you will be beaten nicely. You means everybody gets beaten nicely. So a person who takes these facilities from the demigods but does not perform bhakti or doesn't perform yajna to Krishna, he is definitely a cheater. So very nicely Srila Prabhupada has put it. A society of thieves can never be happy because they have no aim in life. It's amazing. I mean, I cannot enough emphasize this. Are all of you not happy that you have an aim in life? पता नहीं है. Do you really have an aim? Do you really want to go back to Godhead? I mean, if you start thinking about it, that we actually, by mercy of Prabhupada and his devotees, we have an aim in life. Our life is so much disciplined and we are so happy. Otherwise, all those people, I mean, you may, obviously, Prabhuji need a job or something, but after you get a job, you'll say, it's just boring, is it not? He had a good engagement by which he's getting some nice Lakshmi. He also had, are you happy by just that job or something? Getting some 50,000 rupees, 60,000 rupees? Is it not? Nobody becomes happy by that. Nothing. Money does not give you any happiness. It's just numbers. Just numbers. How can some paper give you any happiness? समझ रहे ना मेरी बात? If the goal of life is in a feedback circuit, in your going in your mind, I must attain Krishna. I want to love Krishna. I want to be in Mahaprabhu's party. Like that, then there is a reason to, I would put it like, there is a reason to live. And there's a very happy and substantial reason to live. I must preach this Krishna consciousness. I am so happy. I must share this Krishna consciousness with others. That's why we should have very good sadhana, because you will become very happy. When you have this nice experience of japa, why will you not like to share with others? When your whole thought process has been changed by chanting and by reading Bhagavad Gita, why will you not? I mean, yesterday I was talking about Mahaprabhu dancing as Rukmani, and somehow that Mahaprabhu inspired me, or Krishna inspired me. I just opened Chetan Bhagavad and that was first chapter. And I was reading, it was so funny. It was really very funny, very funny. I feel so inspired to discuss all those pastimes. But anyways, I'm just saying that when you see, I could not look at this chapter earlier like this. I could not look at Chaitanya Charitamrita like this. I could not understand Bhagavatam earlier like this. You get perceivable results in your life. Why will you not preach and give it to others? You can see how the aim of life is manifesting in front of you. पता नहीं मेरी बातें समझ में आ रही हैं कि नहीं? We may say, oh, love of Krishna or something like that, but then we see, I don't want to engage in anything except Krishna's service. This is happening to me. This is happening to me. This is real. I don't want to hear things which are not connected to Krishna. I am making advancement. I'm not saying only saying about I or me. I'm saying every devotee can feel it. So you know, we can feel we are advancing towards our aim of life. So even if our parents may say that we are mad or something, we know we are not mad. We are very intelligent people who are hearing Krishna and we know how we can please Krishna. And by pleasing Krishna, we go back to Krishna. समझ रहे हैं ना मेरी बात? So even if our parents want to pursue with that, don't offend them, don't fight with them, but don't listen to them. Prahlad Maharaj, is it not? So that's what, one more point. There was a band of thieves. They looted some property. But when they had to divide among themselves, they say, be honest. देखो भाई, बराबर ईमानदारी से बांटना. So what is this band of thieves? What is the honesty of thieves? So people want to have uniform distribution and honesty and all those things. But you are revolting against Krishna, तो चोरी है ना. So if you are a thief, how you can be honest? Okay, they are punished. Beautiful point. The gross materialistic thieves have no ultimate goal of life. They are simply directed to sense gratification, nor do they have knowledge of how to perform yajnas. Amazing line. I mean, even if they are our parents or relatives, I mean, with all due respects, if they don't know why they should use their tongue for, what they should use their eyes for, I mean, we are not remembered. See, I have never been trained somehow that to be like a Lulu boy. Lulu boy is something. You sit here and you sit here and you sit there and you sit there. I have not been trained like this. And neither when I joined the ashram, I was never trained by like this. Prabhuji always gave me projects. Okay, do this. And I practically had to do everything on my own. So Prabhupada wanted independently thoughtful people, but not independent of Shastra. You should say, oh, Shastra has spoken. Is it true? Is this world actually miserable? Yeah, it's actually miserable. It's not that Prabhuji told that the Guruji told that the Supreme Lord is impersonal. Yes. You think about it, reflect upon it. And if you chant Hare Krishna nicely, this will come into you. You hear Bhagavad Gita, you chant Hare Krishna, then this independent thoughtfulness will come. Prabhuji, you said, this is correct. Just like we heard from His Holiness Vrindavan Chand Maharaj, that even in Swarga, with all the arrangements, there is no possibility of proper shelter. Only shelter is Supreme Lord. And we see how in Prahlad Maharaj's case and other devotees, they were in most difficult situations. Just like Parikshit Maharaj was about to die within 7 days, but he was not fearful because he took shelter of Krishna. So I was reflecting upon it. What is real devotee protection or protection to devotees is to train them to take shelter of Krishna. Otherwise, nobody can give protection to anybody for that matter. Anybody can die at any point of time. So this is very, very important that they have nothing, no goal to pursue in life. So don't be surprised if they don't practice bhakti. Let them not practice bhakti if they don't want to. But we will persevere with the path of bhakti. Because we are directly perceiving the result of the bhakti. और नहीं महसूस कर रहे हैं बताइए कौन महसूस नहीं कर रहा है अगर नहीं if there was no attraction Shubham why will you come here leaving your family at all if you don't feel any happiness so समझ रहे ना if you don't feel any happiness why will you come here why the desire is to coming that I should understand scriptures and then like that समझ रहे ना one day if you are not able to work for Mangalarati how miserable we feel is it not. Today, you know what happened today? Today, I somehow other felt very fresh and my sleep was fully completed before 3 a.m. So when I woke up, I said, alarm is not ringing. It means surely it is only 5 a.m. now. I was so afraid. It's ऐसे कैसे हो गया? बिना alarm कैसे उठ गया? Then I was happy. Oh, it was 2 minutes to 3 or something. I said, okay, okay. So you see, all of us, you are fearful. Every day I am fearful whether I will be able to wake up for Mangalarti or not. We have taste, is it not? What a wonderful Mangalarti today by Kitchen Krishna. I was so ecstatic. It was just so nice. And Gopal Prabhu was playing Mridanga. It was so wonderful. So wonderful. And then taste for Japa also, like a jackpot, so nice. The more, and I must tell you the secret, the more you chant Hare Krishna and the more you have the mood of helping others, the name will reveal taste to you. हमेशा देखिएगा. If somehow, because Krishna is pleased, Mahaprabhu's anxiety is relieved if somebody gets to this chanting Hare Krishna. You will practically see. Anyhow, I just wanted to talk about this, that they have no goal of life. So anybody can, in any part of the world, can perform this yagya of Sankirtan yagya, and by that he can get purified much better than this any other yagya. So a person must perform this yagya, must offer his food to Krishna, and live a life which is dedicated to Krishna. Otherwise, we are living like a life of thieves. I'll just take up some questions. What is the meaning of Saraswati Devi? That means Saraswati is Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur ji, and his servant will be called Saraswati Devi. Srila Prabhupada is disciple of and servant of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur ji. That's why it's called Saraswati Devi. Holy name can't be compared with these Mahayagyas. Yes, so that's, I was not comparing it. I was just saying that a person who does not have faith in holy name, at least he should do some yagyas so he get purified. But the difficulty is now you can't even do those yagyas. What is the relevance of Sudarshan Yagya? I don't know about Sudarshan Yagya. I only know chanting Hare Krishna. Harinam is independent. Yes. Why all these devotees are worshipping Vishnu and not Krishna directly? Which devotees? I don't understand. Akash always asks abstract questions. No, not abstract, subtle questions, because Akash Tattva is subtle. Ask me easy questions. Which devotees are worshipping Vishnu? I don't understand. It is so beautiful that the gopis could integrate Devata worship for Krishna Prem exactly. You see, they were not integrating. Don't use those words. We can't understand the mood of the gopis. But definitely a good point which is mentioned here by Prerna Mataji, that even if they were worshipping demigods, it was only for attaining the favor of Krishna, not for material benefits. Okay. Jad Bharat, Prahlad. Prahlad was worshipping Vishnu, so is a devotee of Vishnu. What's the difficulty? And Jad Bharat was a devotee of Vishnu. What's the difficulty? I don't know. What if we know devotees are there in the back of Lord Vishnu also? What is the difficulty? There are क्या difficulty? Everybody is not worshipping what Krishna himself said. The whole world worships me in Vaikuntha Bhav, and by that they go to Vaikuntha. What's the difficulty? Everybody is not worshipping in the mood of rag marg. नहीं करते ना, वैदिक भक्ति करते हैं. So by doing Vedic Bhakti, they attain prema, but that prema is mixed with the Ashwara Gyan of Krishna. So they worship Vishnu in that way. They also have love of God, but that is mixed with the mood of opulences or awe and reverence in Vaikuntha. So they are also pure devotees, not a problem. Okay, so I am going to chant Parayan. I am relieving